The reason why I told you that you need sparkles for this tutorial. I'm going to press
What?
Control Z and I'm going to put this weight back on the collar so you can see. We're going to press A and select all the bones and then do Alt R and that should put it back in a default T pose. Then we're
Mm-hmm.
going to select this arm bone that
Okay.
has weight here on the collar. Now we know the opposite arm bone is already weighted perfectly, so when we move it,
Mm-hmm.
the collar doesn't move. Now, say for some reason we forgot how we did that and we don't want to do it all the way on this
Hmm.
side. Well, Avastar has a feature that allows you to mirror the weights from one bone to the other. The
Hmm.
problem with this is
Okay.
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't,
Hmm.
and it may give you a better result than.
Uh. Uh. Ginkgo, I've got news for you. If you got a symmetrical um, avatar already, you can just cut it in half, apply mirror image. So symmetrical would be a cube. Cut it in half. So this would be pretty much the same thing, since that whatever Ginkgo's using is already a mirror. So you do this, add the mirror modifier, apply location and scale. So basically what you're gonna wait on this side is automatically gonna get mirrored over to this side. So what's the point of sparkles? Since your avatar is already a perfect mirror and sparkles only works with mirrors, what's the point of it? I'm not trying to hate on Gaia's stuff, because I mean Avatar is great, right? It's pretty useful. Not really so useful, as I mostly use it to um, clean the weights and to keep track of my complexity, since Blender doesn't really show a proper display all the time, for me at least. But yeah, so why exactly do you need sparkles? Well, what is the point of sparkles if all it does is mirror from one bone to the other? And it's only gonna work properly if the mesh is already a symmetry, basically a mirrored piece of itself. Uh, Question mark? Hmm. Well, let's continue watching the video.
What you did. But
Read in the
the key
comments.
to it, and most part, is that it has to be
Please,
a
please
symmetrical
show how
kind of
to
mesh.
create
So if for some
shoes.
reason
There's nothing good
this
on
part of the
YouTube to
geometry
learn.
was pulled up a
Your
little bit
tutorials are so
higher,
perfect.
it wouldn't work as well.
Hmm, I wouldn't say they're perfect. They're okay. But you don't know how to make shoes? That's even easier. Making shoes is extremely easy once you get the hang of it. Excuse my weird thing over there. Gotta post that later on the page. Okay, so I'm gonna use the fitted torso rig. You've got your feet, right? And you can either start from the top or you can start from the bottom. Uh, Dealer choice. So what you wanna do, get yourself a plane, drag it down if you're starting from the bottom. So add a plane where normally the avatar would interact with the ground in Second Life. Shrink it down, move it over to 1 foot, shrink it down again. Try to center it as much as you can on the heel. It doesn't really have to be quite in the center. And take these, move them to the front as much as you want the shoe to go towards the front, because most of the foot is probably going to be alpha layered anyways, unless you're planning on building something around it, which will make the shoe bigger and kind of pointless of having shoes if they're gonna look out of place. So yeah, if I'm gonna make shoes, best way is to make them around alpha layers. So as typically you would add a few indentation, a few cuts. Come on, that should be enough. And you would start shrinking from one side and moving, so you would get that base shape of the foot. Pretty much what the foot is useful for. I don't need this upper body or this arms. I'm just gonna delete those. And this, and this, and this. Okay. So getting back to it. I'm gonna take this. GX. I'm gonna move it a bit in. GX, move it a bit in. Move this one a bit. Yeah, no, look from the top as well. So just to make sure you've got you're going as close to the shape of the foot that you're making for. Keep on going in. Keep on going in. Right. Keep on going in. This here is gonna have to go a bit more in there. And I think we can just raise this up a bit. Nah, let's just keep it like that. And shrink it on the x-axis. Shrink this in a bit more. This in a bit more. Right, and you've got the sole for the, or soles, or whatever the fuck they're called in English, for the base of the foot. Now, if you're starting from the top, depending on the type of feet you're using and where you want your shoe to start from, you just grab the piece of mesh of the geometry, the vertices. You do Shift D duplicate, then press P, and you've got your base to start from, and you will start extruding on the z-axis. Preferably you would go all the way down to where the upper part of the foot starts, right? And just move it around a bit, stretch it in. I think those are right. I'll select from here, 6, and just make it around the foot most of the time, depending on the type of foot you're using, and so on. So I'm just gonna move this in. And obviously you're gonna want to use a modifier for this. Let's just add a subdivision. There are two armatures for some reason. Okay, add a subdivision. Don't panic, it's fine. This part right here is gonna get fixed as soon as you add some more vertices on here. Let me show you. So I'm gonna add these, and this got, well, it's not gonna get fixed, but so I might wanna fix that before continuing. Then of course you can always use my favorite, the shrink wrapper. What I just did there, one of the faces was inside out, and you're gonna know it's inside out when you have that weird light. One of them is darker than the rest. So whenever you get that, press Ctrl N and edit, Ctrl N in edit mode, or select the face you wanna turn inside out. Press W, flip normals. There you go. Now, if you're not sure of which face is inside out, press N, open this tab over here, whatever it's called, and you've got here your normals, and usually go with faces. And now, the direction that these are pointing, that's the front, right? So I'm gonna remove shit. Hold on. Select. Okay, yeah, they're on the same fucking layer. Okay. So as you can see on the inside there's pretty much nothing, right? And let's say you have a really complex mesh and whatnot, and you're not sure, so you got all these things poking out at the same time, I usually go with a 0.1, or you can go with a 0.05 if you've got a really complex mesh, and you can see the faces, the directions the faces are going, and if you go like 1, 2, 3, and let's say this one would be in, oh, there you go, flip back, and so on. You get the idea. And if you don't, I'm sorry, this is beyond you. Okay, so continuing. So let's see. GZ. No, not Jay-Z. Fuck Jay-Z. Okay. I mean, I've got nothing against the guy, but I really don't like it. His music is pretty shitty. It's outdated. He hasn't come up with anything new, but whatever. To each their own, right? They're basically. I generally prefer to keep my stuff pretty z-axis friendly, so to speak. So regardless of the geometry of the mesh, I gotta keep my stuff z-axis. Okay, so this is clipping here a bit. Gonna move it a bit there, a bit here. I can just add some solidify later. Take this and this and join them. Add back my subdivision. I said this would basically be a sneaker. You would want another in one of those things there, right? So let's say you pick this and this, and you would extrude them on the inside, right? And you need to like see your stuff and whatnot. So I'm gonna see this and this. Select those, min crease, turn min crease on, like this, and this, min crease on, and the edges, min crease on. So I basically want all of this to be pretty flat and pretty in there, but I don't want these. So I have no use for these. So this would be the thing, the tongue of the shoes, of the sneakers, where you will have your shoelaces and stuff, right? And you can just play with it around and make it as complex as you want and whatnot. Nowadays, no one seems to care about optimizing mesh, so except me, because I just hate it when something takes about 3 years to load. Points at Blueberry. GX, GY, GX, GY, GX. And so that would be like where the thing would be. If you can, there's another one here, just to make it a bit more in there. Right, then you got that thing, and you can grab these here and just move them up a bit, and then out a bit. And so it looks like it's bigger than the rest. Remember, the making mesh is like about 50% illusion. Your mesh can be extremely simple if your texture is extremely detailed, and that's what you want to go for. You want to go for extremely simple mesh. You want to make it as simple as possible as long as it works and doesn't clip, and you want to blow the shit out of your texture model. Like, go all out, make it 10 billion triangulations. If it's gonna make your texture look good and you've got the computer power to render it, to bake it, or render it, go for it. Shit. Right, so this is where it gets tricky. So I'm gonna use my base here, and I'm gonna extrude it up. Right, and now I've got this weird ass shape here. Now, let me remove the foot for a second there. What you want to do, you want to remove this upper part, so XF, and you're left with this weird ass shape, which doesn't really look like like something that would belong on a foot, right? So you want to select the base of your mesh, increase it the shit out of it, 1%. Well, just one in this case. Let's do one on this, or not, maybe one, maybe about a 72%, 0.7 there, right? And as you can see, this ain't really fair there. So I'm just gonna move it a bit that way and lower it down a bit. And then you wanna go extrude again, scale it in a bit, just a bit, and then extrude again and go on the z-axis, just a tiny bit, then extrude again and scale again on all the axis, and then extrude and on the z-axis, right? So you've got that bottom of the shoe and where it connects. You don't really have to add this one. It's not really mandatory. The shoe will look fine. Will look just fine even without it. Okay, so you're gonna want to remove the mean creases of most of these, since you want that nice round look on there. Oh yeah, one thing, you don't want mean creases. I did a mistake here, so I'm gonna let me just fix this real quick. The thing I did, I used the vertex selector instead of this one, instead of the edge selector. So I just want the edges selected for these, and there we go. And you see, if you select only the edges, you've got that nice smooth look on there. Well, as much as possible, as much as you can. I'm gonna need a few more vertices in here that I actually get it really smooth, but I'm not looking to make some perfect model. I'm just doing a freaking tutorial, so there's no need for that. So you've got this, right? Let's turn the foot back on. Right, and you can just follow the shape of the foot. So I'm just gonna select this front here and just play with it as much as you want. Trust me, it's not gonna mind. It's not picky. Make your base, because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, or it comes out too weird, too complex, or whatever, right? You can always do a retypology on it, and there you go, be done with it, right? So just extrude towards the foot. Try to keep on the shape of the foot as much as possible, because remember, the foot's mostly gonna be alpha layer, so it really doesn't matter. But you want to keep to the shape unless you so you keep kind of the scale of the foot. So over here we have a good example of where you could add another edge. So I'm gonna add it there. I'm gonna move that out and add that one here. Perfect. I'm just gonna move this out a bit. So basically, you just want to arrange your mesh so it's somewhat around the foot, right? At first. Here it's, let's say, for example, here it's to N. I'm just gonna drag it out a bit. For example, here it's to out, so I'm gonna drag it in a bit. To N, drag it out a bit. To N, drag it out a bit. Move this a bit more to the end. There. Here to N. And so on and so on. You get the gist of it. Right, so you've got your basic foot model here. Right. Almost there. Okay, so there we go. Right, so it's around the foot, whatever, right? Okay, so we're gonna extrude, scale, Z, and you keep on going the same way as you did until now. So we're just gonna take these, move them back here, take this, move it here. You wanna keep your geometry pretty fair on those sides, at least. And you're gonna want this to go here. Right, move that there, that there, there, there. And this one's still in there. Move it, drag it out a bit. Okay. So as you can see, it's starting to look like a flip-flop at this point. But in the end, you're gonna see that you're gonna add some more vertices here, there, everywhere, and it's gonna look fairly decent. Now you're probably wondering, how the fuck they connect this to this, right? Well, you've already got some of the bases, so connect whatever's closest first, and what you can't connect, you just add some more typology to it. So connect what you see in the front first, and then worry about the rest afterwards. Why the hell is this still on? Okay, so move that there, move that there. And keep in mind that you don't really have to keep a really tidy geometry for shoes. And you're probably wondering why? Well, mainly because shoes are mostly going to be static. You don't want weights on your ankles. Yeah, you don't want that. So mostly from the knee down, it's mostly just going to be a static mesh that's moving along with the bone and scaling with the bone. But your from the ankle down, from the knee down, you don't want any weights. You want all the weights are below the knee to be controlled by the knee part, basically, by this part, by the calf or whatever it's called there. All right, and we're gonna keep on going. Gonna connect this to this, and it's gonna give that nice effect over there. So so we have here, this one would be with this, and we're gonna add another one here and connect this. We can connect this one, but I want to get a nice effect here, so I'm gonna connect that one. Okay, this with this, this with this, this with this, and this with this, right? Now, someone told me on my stream a few weeks ago about a Blender feature where, as if you've got a face, right? And then you select an edge and press F, and it does this. This is amazing. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, you gotta watch out how far you go with it, because it can go wrong, and it can go wrong big time. So watch out for that. If you and if you ever find out what it's called, let me know, because I'm curious as well. Okay, so like, see over here, I screwed up. Okay, so you want to go from here to here, from here to no, not to there. From here to here, from here to here, and that looks a bit strange because we ain't got these on, and we want to turn these on, and you see we've got some weird lighting, so I'm just gonna select everything and do a Control N, and there's still some weird lighting in here. Let's see if I flip a normal. No, that's already flipped. Okay, so this here is because this is too close to that one, so I'm just gonna move this in a bit. Do I have mesh in there? Go offline. So let me just remove this for a second. Okay, so wait, yeah, auto smoothing, missing that. Don't ask me what shoe looks like this, because I'm just making something random here. Don't be a dick about it. It's alright. It's alright. Okay, so we're gonna do this to this. yeah, this is nothing like the other side. It's this to this, turn on this to this. No, it's this to this, and from here to here, from here to not to there to here. Okay, see here. No. This to this, this to this, and this to this. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Add this to this, and this to this. Right, then we got your increase here. So make your shoe look a bit more weird. But yeah, there you go. You've got a basic shoe. So you can add stuff from the bottom. Like I said, add plane, or you can start from the top, extrude a bit of the geometry from where you want your shoe to start, and then continue down extruding. You can just extrude one of them. You can extrude all the way to the where the foot starts to curve, and then add some cuts into your mesh. As you can see here, this is the part where it's uncut. I'm just gonna add some geometry. It's gonna fix most of it. The rest of it, it's up to you. So it's your imagination. So there you go. That's how you make a shoe. What was her name? Sheila Loops. I hope this helps you. This is Alexei Craft signing off.